Heard enough about the importance of this fight. Certainly for Hilmer Kenty, it's really a crossroads for him. He must win. He knows that. He won the title originally in March of 1980, a 9th-round knockout of Ernesto España. After 3 successful title defenses, Hilmer Kenty lost his WBA crown to Sean O'Grady in a 15-round bout in Atlantic City, April 1981. It was a grueling fight, resulting in Kenty's first loss. Clearly a bitter disappointment.
I thought my whole world was going to crumble. But of course, you know, with my wife, Barbara, and my son, Hilmer Jr., they helped me put things in perspective and, of course, put it back together again.
More damaging to his career, however, was an eye injury that Kenty suffered in training after the O'Grady fight. It concerned him even more than losing his title.
I thought it was the end of my career. But after the surgery, the doctor said it went very well. And they did. They said at that time they expected it to heal.
On the comeback trail, his second victory was scored against highly regarded John Montez Jr. in Albuquerque.
After the eye injury and after hearing so many people saying that I couldn't do it, I think it gave me a burning desire to want to become champion again. And I think that is the primary reason that I'm still boxing.
Ray Leonard, you have an obvious special interest in Hilmer Kenty. He's had a similar eye problem. Here he is continuing to fight. His medical approval is there, and he wants to fight and win back that title. He's got a tough road to hoe in Robert Elizondo.
Well, Tim, fortunately, the injury has been corrected, and I feel that Kenty has that main ingredient, desire. And that's what I think is going to carry him through, because he wants to come back and he wants to be champion again.
Okay, of course, in Robert Elizondo, Gil Clancy, we know we have a guy who comes to war every time out. I wonder if those 2 difficult fights, having his jaw fractured by Arguello and then losing a tough 10-rounder to Bose Edwards, if that's taken too much out of him. He rebounded with a knockout.
Tim, I don't think so. Every fight that he's in is a tough fight. He's a brawler. He comes to fight. He has to take Hilmer's fight plan away from him today. He can't fight in the center of the ring. He's got to move into the corners and make Hilmer exchange punches with him. Otherwise, it's sayonara.
Well, Robert Elizondo knows full well the importance of this fight to him. It's every bit as important as it is to Kenty.
Well, it's very important for me to win this fight because the winner will get a title shot. And it's like fighting for another title.
Elizondo's first title chance came in November of '81 against WBC champion Alexis Arguello. He was stopped in the 7th round.
From the Arguello fight, I learned that not to be standing up straight. I try to overpower Arguello, and you can't do that. You have to use your head, use your mind.
After a 7-month layoff, nursing a broken jaw suffered in the Arguello fight, he went 10 difficult rounds against the former junior lightweight champion, Cornelius Bose Edwards. Bose Edwards won the decision, but since that time, Elizondo has scored a knockout over Romeo Sandoval, raising his record to 23-3. Here comes Hilmer Kenty, the former WBA champion, entering the ring. You heard Boom Boom Mancini say that it figures to be an action fight, and we certainly agree. These 2 young men will be in there throwing leather. Elizondo only knows one way, and Kenty can often get teased into that kind of toe-to-toe slugging. His pride is certainly large enough that when it comes down to crunch time, as it did against John Montez, he'll be there throwing plenty of leather. And we'll be back with round 1 in a moment. Elston.
Introducing in the blue corner, weighing in at 136 3/4 pounds with a record of 23 wins, 3 losses, 19 of them the knockout route, from Los Angeles, California, Robert Elizondo. And introducing in the red corner, weighing in at 136 pounds even, with a record of 22 wins, 1 loss, 15 of them the knockout route, from Columbus, Ohio, Hilmer Kenty.
The referee for today's fight is Tony Perez, giving them the final instructions.
Stop punching, break. You stop punching, step back. Now, you score a knockdown. I want you to go to the farthest neutral corner. Stay there until I tell you to come out. The 3-round rule, the 3-knockdown rule in New Jersey South. It's up to my discretion to decide if I should be stopped. Now, 40 seconds. The bell will not save anybody from being knocked out, all right? If fight is in the floor at the bell, please do not come into the ring because that calls for disqualification. I hate to do that. Wait until Mark gets up by himself, then you can assist him while he walks to his corner. Any questions?
Brown?
Yes. minimize that a little bit too much. Okay? Now, okay, any other questions? Shake hands. Good luck to both.
Looking at the tail of the tape, 27-year-old Hilmer Kenty stands 5'10.5" and has the reach advantage commensurate with his height advantage. Robert Elizondo, born and raised in Corpus Christi, Texas. Weighed in at 136 1/4, Kenty at 136, and we are underway. Kenty in red, Elizondo in gold with black trim. And the scoring in the New Jersey rules on the round system with a supplemental 5-point must system in the event of a draw. The judges are Charles Spina and William Kostrab, along with the referee Tony Perez.
Both fighters go to each other from the very first round because there is no through-out process. Normally, Kenty comes out and he circles his opponent and uses a left jab. But recently, he has become more aggressive and more of an inside fighter.
Good solid combination scored to the face of Elizondo by Kenty, his last outing here on CBS. An exciting 10-rounder against a very, very good John Montez Jr., who is still to be heard from among the lightweights despite that close loss to Kenty. And Elizondo scored a 4th-round knockout of Romeo Sandoval October 9th in his last outing after the loss to Cornelius Bolta-Edwards.
Kenty has to be very careful because Elizondo, he punches very well, especially with that left hook to the body, left hook to the head. I saw him with Aguayo, and he just couldn't deal with Aguayo, although he landed some pretty heavy punches.
19 KOs in his 23 victories for Elizondo. 15 KOs in 22 wins for Kenty.
Kenty must have warmed up real well in his dressing room because he came out firing, Tim. He's thrown about 50 punches already, especially that left jab. He's using it to do a paint job on Elizondo already.
You believe in that dressing room warm-up, I know, Gil.
Oh, yeah. I've seen many a fighter get caught cold and lose in the first round. But Kenty is hot.
The only thing I don't like about Kenty, Gil, is the fact that he leaves his mouth open. So he's subject to a broken jaw.
Kenty so far has been scoring at will with his combinations. Elizondo, as you said, Ray, has really got to get inside.
Oh, most definitely, Tim. Elizondo has to work his way inside if he wants to be effective, especially a guy with the hand speed of Hilmer Kenty.
Kenty, also born in Texas like Elizondo, born in Austin, Texas, now lives in Detroit. Spent some time in Columbus during his amateur days.
I must continue to point out that Kenty has to be very careful of Elizondo's left hook. The way Kenty carries that right hand down, he carries it down much too low.
I like the way Kenty's letting his punches flow, though. He's very, very relaxed, very sure of himself, and those hands are like lightning.
Under 30 seconds to go, round one.
So far, Elizondo has not been able to trap Kenty into fighting inside. Kenty's moving around, staying at his distance, just getting off the ropes as he just did then, and just completely outboxing Elizondo.
Coming to the end of this first round, scheduled for 10. This is round number 2. Hilmer Kenty in red had a very brisk first round, threw a lot of punches and appeared to win it easily. Elizondo in gold. A hard punching body puncher particularly, but so far he hasn't been able to get close to Kenty, who's kept him off with the jab.
I feel Kenty has sensed that Elizondo is starting off cold. He didn't warm up in the back. And he's taking advantage of it. Kenty's now is perspiring very heavily now.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Gil Clancy, Tim Ryan live from the Americana Great Gorge Resort in McAfee, New Jersey.
It was a right hand thrown by Elizondo that seemed to have dazed Kenty, but he's holding himself together very well.
Threw a right hand right back. It scored. Kenty ranked number 2 now by the World Boxing Council after his win over Montez, number 7 by the WBA. And Elizondo ranked number 8 by the WBC. Oh, good combination by Elizondo.
That's the left hook I was talking about, Tim.
And another one.
Oh, Kenty's being drawn into punching exchanges.
And he's standing straight up.
Standing straight up and standing right in front of Elizondo. He's nailing Elizondo, but he can get nailed too. And there he just got hit with a left hook.
Hilmer seems to do that. He'll kind of get caught up in a little macho exchange, it seems, and forget his real skills and stand there and trade. And there's a good right hand scored by Elizondo.
Kenty doesn't seem like he's in a fight like it was in the first round. For some reason, he's laying on the ropes where he shouldn't be. And this is the wrong place with a fighter like Elizondo, who can punch well, pressure to the body, and now watch it go back to the head.
This is Elizondo's fight when he has the other guy in the ropes.
Kenty should not be against the ropes. He should have his man back in the center ring and using that fast left jab.
That was a good 30 seconds for Elizondo, moving Kenty from one set of ropes to the other. Under a minute to go.
Kenty used that left jab so well in the first round. Now he's not using it at all. He's just looking to punch and hook with Elizondo. There he threw a combination, but he'll get hit back doing that, and he just did. Fighting Elizondo's fight.
Left and a right scored by Kenty, but Elizondo stays there with him, backing him up. It's the action we expected. Well, we talked about Elizondo having tough fights against Bose, Edwards, and Arguello. Of course, Kenty coming off a real tough one against John Montes Jr. Very close fight, really decided earlier on, and Montes closing well, but Kenty hanging on to win it. 10 seconds remaining in round number 2. Kenty and Elizondo. Terrific lightweight action. We're back here in McAfee, New Jersey, and a stunning turn of events here. Hilmer Kenty is unable to continue. At the end of that second round, he came to his corner. His handlers looked at him. It was apparent to us something was wrong. And he then said to the referee and to his handlers, "I just don't feel good." He tried walking around first as though he was trying to gather his breath or get his balance or whatever. And then he said, "I just don't feel good." And he has told the officials he is unable to continue this fight. So Elizondo has won the fight with a technical knockout at the end of 2, and now a distraught Hilmer Kenty with his face on the shoulders of handler Percy Richardson. He must be extremely upset. His wife is on the ring apron with him. His wife, Barbara, obviously concerned. Now he comes to his feet.
Second round at the advice of the physician.
Stunning turn of events here for Hilmer Kenty, who had his own way in the first round. Then in the second round, when it looked like he started to slug some with Elizondo, Elizondo moved him from one set of ropes to the other. And at the end of that round, Kenty, who had just gone into absolutely in reverse from the way he came out in the first round, clearly something was wrong with him. And we'll try and find out more on it if we can.
Well, Tim, he took some heavy punishment in that second round.
Okay, well, we're going to go back to our studios in New York, and we'll be back here to find out more about this stunning reversal. Hilmer Kenty, the loser on a TKO after 2. Back to you, Brent. Okay, Brent, we have Hilmer Kenty here with us. Hilmer, what happened?
I don't know. I just didn't feel it. I don't know whether it's because the weight is too low or whether I just didn't eat good enough today, but I just felt very weak. I felt it in the very first round. As you could tell, he was coming on at the end of the round. But I just didn't have it, and I realized I would like to apologize for my performance today, but I just didn't have it.
But in the first round, you came out like a house of fire. We were commenting on what a great fast start you made. Looked like you had warmed up properly. Did you feel good before the fight?
Yes, I did. I felt fairly well before the fight, but during at the end of the first round, I'm normally a fast starter, but at the end of the first round, I just didn't feel as strong as I normally do.
Well, then in the second round, it appeared that your energy was gone because you started to come off your toes. You stood there flat-footed, and, of course, with him, that's what he wants.
Yeah, I hit him with some good shots, and, he just wasn't backing up. The shots weren't doing anything to him, and I could just feel I didn't have anything behind him.
Well, then when you came to the corner at the end of round 2, you walked around a little bit. What were you trying to feel there? What was going on at that moment?
I could just feel I didn't have it. I was trying to stand up and see if it would come back to me. But when I was sitting down in the corner, I could just feel I just didn't have it. And I didn't even know if I could have, made a third round or not.
No question about your eye. Was it a factor at all?
No, the eye wasn't a factor at all. I didn't even get hit in the eye. Only time he really hit me was with body shots. I never even got hit in the head with a good shot, I don't think.
What's going to happen now, Hilmer?
I don't know. I'm very disappointed at it. I'm going to have to talk with my wife and, of course, talk with my son. And I don't know, I may be contemplating even retirement. I don't know right now. I really feel bad about this performance.
Hilmer, we feel badly for you. Let's get the winner in here, Roberto Elizondo. Robert, this is a very a stunning way for you to win. You had to be as surprised as the rest of us that Hilmer didn't come out for round 3.
Well, yeah, I knew I had hurt him in the second round with body shots. I felt that I was hurting him a lot with body shots. I hurt him in the corner, and I knew I had him. And I told Mr. McCoy It's at the end of the second round. He's hurting to the body, Jackie, so he told me keep on going to the body because you got him slowing down now. He came out pretty fast in the first round, and I was a little tight. Then I started moving inside and then got him to the body and I hurt him.
Robert, it's a kind of a strange way for you to win, but a tremendous opportunity. You had two difficult fights, Arguello and then Bose Edwards. You came off with an easy win in your last outing against Sandoval, but this one is a very important one for you. How do you feel about what the victory means?
I feel real happy now. Now probably I can get another title shot. Like you said, that I lost my big fight against Arguello, and then I had another chance against Bose Edwards and I lost that one. Now I come back and win one of the most important fights of my career. The guy is one of the top prospects we got, the lightweight division, and I won, and thanks to God that I'm well, and I'm ready to go for the title.
Okay, Robert Elizondo, the pride of Corpus Christi, Texas, now living in Anaheim, a rather strange way, but you can't fault his performance. He was there in round 2 and wins by TKO. We're going to return you now to Brent Musburger, New York, and we'll be back to look at that second round here in Great Gorge, New Jersey. The very well-known Jersey Joe Walcott, the almost as well-known Bob Lee. Bob, I understand that you have already taken some action pending an investigation. Can you please explain what you've done as a result of this fight?
Well, the chief physician, Dr. Herbert Cassidy, has spoken to the ambulance corps, and they are taking Hilmer Kenty to the hospital for a medical examination. He is being suspended indefinitely, pending a thorough review of this entire matter. The purse naturally will be held up because that's a matter of just course. But Hilmer Kenty was in a fight in the first 2 rounds, which was fairly even, and something happened. We don't know what, and we have to determine what it was that did occur. But
Thank you, Bob. Let me just ask Joe. Joe, you have a long history in boxing. Can you recall a similar incident like this? And obviously you agree with Mr. Lee's action.
Well, most definitely. I've never experienced or seen such an ending to a fight. And until investigation is completed, he's suspended and his purse will be held up.
Okay, so hopefully for Hilmer Kenty, he can be exonerated here for medical reasons. That remains to be seen, but the New Jersey Commission feeling that the purse must be withheld in the meantime. So we're going to be back with more of CBS Sports Sunday after these messages.